What's up, guys? I'm just here in the workshop today. I'm going to do a rebuild on a 2001 Kawasaki KX250 two-stroke shock. I'll put the whole rebuild run through on YouTube and probably 2X, and I'll give you guys some basic breakdown on how to disassemble it with some instruction, and that'll get you started. And may have a few extra tips and tricks in there too. Alright, we're going to start off with a small flat head and a shock punch and hammer. And just before we forget, I'm going to go ahead and back the clickers out. Count your clicks if you're going to keep it at the same settings. Just a good idea to do this first thing so you don't forget. Keep you from damaging anything on accident. Alright, next I need to loosen up this top nut so that I can then turn the spring to get tension off the spring and get it off. So I'm going to release it with the punch. It was already pretty loose. Sometimes if you got a spring that's been on here for a while, you can spray some MPPL or some kind of other penetrating lube on there and get it loosened up. I'm going to back this nut all the way up to the top. It's no good. Now I can just start spinning the spring. Make sure the nut on top of the spring is spinning too, otherwise you're not doing anything. Now I can get just the nut to spin. Get that backed off. See, now I've got tension off the spring. Now I can flip it over. Make sure you can still see it. You cannot. There you go. Now you can see this up here is loose. There are actually two rings right here. I'm just gonna make sure they come apart. See, this just sits down on top of this ring, so then you just pull it out and then lift that up, and the whole spring will just lift off. It'll come off later. You can see this one's been leaking bad for a long time. It's got nothing. It's not doing anything. No fluid in it. Probably no gas. Okay. Next, we can take a valve core remover and just release the gas on there, get the valve core out, and that'll allow us to push our bladder down. So, just removing the valve core. I'll move the camera over where you can see it. Okay, I think you can see that good enough. I've removed the valve core right here. So now, really, you can take like a socket or something and give this a light tap. And get it down in there just far enough to work out this circlip. Sometimes these things will pop right out, and sometimes they are a pain. If you didn't see that, there it is. It pops right out. Now is where you have to be careful. They make special tools to remove this bladder without messing it up. Some will work on some shocks, some won't. This is a Tusk one. I'll put the link to it on the bottom. It will screw on here relatively easy. and it'll let you pull up on this bladder without damaging the threads. This one's stuck tight too. As I'm going to flip this upside down now. Alright, what I've done is flip this upside down so I can put some more pressure on it. And there it comes. Now, see this bladder like this and it's distended? You know, it's caved in. It needs replaced. So, that bladder should look, that's a smaller one, but it should look round like that at all times, not distended. So that's how you know you need to replace it. So now that we've got that out, last step, we're going to remove this cap. We can do that with a small punch or a small screwdriver. See these little holes in the end? Just going to kind of put something in there. And I'm going to get a real punch so I don't mess up my screwdriver. Alright, this one's a little overkill for the job, but it'll work. Okay. Now if you look down inside here, you're going to see your seal head and another circlip. So if you're replacing the seal head, you can take a punch or a screwdriver or something and just gently tap down on that seal head. It's pushed down, and after it's pushed down, I can see the circlip. You guys see that circlip down in there?